and while I was doing that, I felt a gush. Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my 37-week pregnancy update. So if you're new, I am pregnant with my second baby boy due June 24th, and today is currently Friday when I'm filming this, so I'm exactly 37 weeks and 2 days pregnant. So that's very exciting. So 37 weeks is now considered early term. So I always thought 37 weeks was considered full term, but I googled it and I guess they don't consider it like full term until 39. From 37 and 38, it's just early term. But if he is to arrive now, my doctor says that's totally fine. She says you are fair game, go for it, and we'll see what happens. So this week was my first official week off of work, which is very exciting. So last Friday we actually had a little trip to the lake, and I wasn't very smart and I got a really bad sunburn. And so unfortunately my first official week off of work, I spent most of it laying on the couch like smothered in like aloe vera, trying not to let anything touch it because it hurt so bad. So I feel like my first week was a little bit wasted and I didn't really get anything done or really enjoy myself at all. So I'm feeling a lot better right now, so it is time to get everything ready for baby. So the apps that I've been using this pregnancy are the Ovia Pregnancy, the Pregnancy Plus, and the What to Expect app. And so according to those apps, he is approximately 19.61 inches long and 6.80 pounds. So like I mentioned in my last pregnancy update, my doctor doesn't think my baby's going to be very big. And so for like the weight and everything, I don't know how accurate that is to how big my baby is, but that's what the apps are saying. Now for my weight, so I started out this pregnancy at 151 pounds. And in my first trimester, I did lose about 6 pounds and I gained that back very slowly. And so I turn over to a new week every Wednesday. And so I weigh myself every Wednesday morning before I eat or anything. And so this Wednesday when I weighed myself, I was 164 pounds. And so that puts me at a total of a 13-pound weight gain at 37 weeks. So for my symptoms, so the only symptom that has been very, very consistent this pregnancy has been my heartburn. It has been unreal. It's so bad, especially when I lay down trying to go to bed. It's been getting so bad. I've been raving about this stuff called Gaviscon, and honestly, that isn't even helping anymore. I'm taking like double what I would normally take, and it's just not even touching it. So if any of you guys have any tips on how to get rid of heartburn, I would very much appreciate that because there is nothing I can do to get rid of it. It hurts so bad. So for my next symptom, this happened only one time this week, and it hasn't happened since I believe my 32-week update. I talked to my doctor about it then and she said it's totally fine. There's nothing you can do about it, but that is the hydronephrosis. So basically what that is, it's like swelling or extra fluid buildup in your kidney, or your uterus is putting too much pressure on your kidney, and so it's causing some swelling. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but basically like I just get these little episodes of like excruciating pain in my kidney, and for me it's only been on my left kidney. You can get it on either side or both. That would be terrible, but for me it's just my left side, and it's so painful, and it lasted this time about 30 minutes. Usually it lasts anywhere between 30 minutes to the longest I had was an hour and a half. And yeah, that hasn't happened since 32 weeks, but it happened again this week. So that was not fun. Alrighty, so I had a little bit of a labor scare this week as well. Actually, this was yesterday. So this next part is definitely going to be TMI. So if you don't like that stuff, then you might want to click out now. So last night, I thought for sure I was going into labor. So yesterday morning, I woke up at about 8 in the morning and my underwear was soaked, and it was a little bit, it looked like it could have been a little bit pink, but I couldn't really tell because my underwear has like color on it. So it was hard to tell if it was blood or not. I was like, that was weird. So I get up and I go to the bathroom and I wipe, and sure enough, it's blood. There's pink. It's not like red blood, like it wasn't like a period, like I wasn't like gushing blood or anything, but it was definitely very like wet and creamy and pink. So that had me very concerned. Luckily I had my doctor's appointment at 10:30 in the morning that day, so I just waited until then, and I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I did have a little bit of cramping at the time. It wasn't like, I don't feel like it was contractions or anything like that, just some cramping. And so I went to my doctor at 10:30 and I told her about that, and she asked if we've had intercourse recently. I told her yes, but you know, it was earlier in the evening, so I figured if I was going to be spotting from that, it would be later on in the night, not in the morning. And she says, no, that's totally normal. That's probably what it was. But at 37 and 38 weeks, it's optional for you to get your cervix checked. But I thought because I was bleeding and there was fluid, and I didn't know if it was like amniotic fluid or if it was like my mucus plug or if it was just like random discharge. So I just opted to get checked just to be sure. So she checked and she confirmed that there was no water, so it wasn't amniotic fluid. My water wasn't like slowly leaking out. And she does think that it could be either from intercourse or my mucus plug is starting to come out. But she said my cervix is still pretty much closed. It's like a tiny, tiny little pinhole. But she says, yeah, it's still closed. And she said I'm most likely going to be spotting again after that check, which my 36-week check, I feel like she was a lot more gentle. This time, I feel like it was a lot more like she was trying to induce labor kind of thing. Like, it was more intense, but I think that's because she was trying to check to see if it was like any kind of fluid. So I don't know, but this one was a lot more like intense. So after that, I felt fine and we went about our day. I kind of just brushed it off. I was planning on packing my hospital bag so I can film that for you guys today. But we ran some errands. We went to Walmart and I picked up a duffel bag because I, for some reason, cannot find mine anywhere. And so I just got like this plain duffel bag that we're gonna be able to fit both mine and Roger's stuff in. And yeah, so we just went about our day. About 4:30 p.m. I started noticing I was getting contractions. So at this time, they did not feel painful. It was just like where it's tight and kind of uncomfortable. But I noticed that I was getting them enough into where I felt like I could start timing them. And so I did. I started timing them, and for an hour, they were very consistently 4 minutes apart. And so I was getting a little bit nervous. That seemed, my doctor told me last week that when my contractions get 4 minutes apart, that's when I go to the hospital. So I was like, I don't know if I should go. Is this nothing? I'm not sure. They're 4 minutes apart. It's been going on for an hour. But I also, because of this whole pandemic and everything going on, I really don't want to go to the hospital unless it's like absolutely necessary, unless I feel like I'm dying of having this baby right now. I want to go through the labor process as much as I possibly can at home instead of in the hospital. So I decided not to go, but I continued timing my contractions. About 5:30, they started getting a little bit more intense. So now they started becoming more painful. And when they started becoming more painful, they did start becoming more sporadic. So some of them were like 8 minutes apart, and then some of them were like 2-3 minutes apart, and then it went to like 11 minutes. So they're very random now. So I'm like, okay, this is probably not true labor. This is probably just like my body maybe trying to progress from having my check, or maybe she made my body mad from the check. But then I started getting a little bit worried. I'm like, what if I am going to go into labor right now? These contractions are still about 11 minutes apart at the latest, and now it's been going on for almost 2 hours, and they're starting to get more painful. And so I started getting a little bit paranoid and freaking out, and so I started throwing. At this point, I had not started packing my hospital bag yet. I was not prepared. And so I literally just started throwing stuff in my hospital bag. I had no idea what to bring. I was just panicking and just throwing stuff in there. And so I did that, and then I had just like took a shower and washed my hair, and so my hair was really frizzy, and I'm not planning on wearing makeup at the hospital. I'm not planning on doing my makeup before I go to the hospital. If I am wearing makeup, it's because I just filmed a video, and so that's the only time I've really been wearing makeup lately. So I wasn't like worried about doing my makeup if I have to go to the hospital, but the one thing I do want to make sure is done is I want my hair straightened. If my hair is really frizzy and I have no makeup on, I feel disgusting. But if I at least have my hair straightened, then I feel a little bit more put together. So I hurried up and I went to go straighten my hair just in case we had to go to the hospital. And while I was doing that, I felt a gush and I freaked out. So I went to the bathroom. And it was the same stuff that happened that morning with the discharge and the pink. So I was bleeding again. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this from the check? She said it's possible. She said it's pretty likely I will spot again after getting checked. So I'm like, this could be from the check. but at the same time I was getting all of these contractions, and I'm like, is my water breaking? Am I losing my mucus plug? Like, what is going on right now? At this point, I was so stressed out. I really thought that I was gonna go into labor last night, and if I didn't, then it would be today. I was almost convinced. But at about 10 o'clock last night, the contractions kind of like slowed down. I was able to sleep. I actually slept really good last night. I woke up this morning and I had no bleeding. It didn't happen again, and I haven't had any contractions yet today, so I don't know if that was just like from my cervical check, which it very well might have been, or if it's like my body getting ready to go into labor, and so labor might be very soon. So I did already film a video for, if you're watching this, that means I'm in labor. So as soon as I get admitted into the hospital, I'm gonna post that for you guys so you know exactly what's going on. And yeah, I'm gonna repack my hospital bag and film that for you guys today so I can kind of get things ready. I made Roger go and install our car seat last night. I'm like, I just want that done. If we have to go to the hospital, that's something I don't want to freak out about that we don't have done. I made him get our swing out of the garage, our shed, or our bassinet out of the shed, and I washed that stuff really quick. Like, I was panicking so bad. So I'm gonna try to get as much stuff done as I can today, just because I have no idea when this is gonna happen. I'm really having a feeling I'm not gonna make it to 40 weeks. I've kind of, in the back of my head, had a feeling I was gonna have him by 38 weeks, but hoping to have him by like 41, but we really don't know. So this could have been a like early labor sign, or it could have been nothing. We'll find out. So I mentioned this before, I am planning on filming a labor and delivery vlog. So I want to film as much of the process as I can with you guys as possible. I did talk to my doctor about it because, you know, I want to make sure I can film my delivery. So I asked her, you know, what are the rules at the hospital? Like, can I film my delivery? And she says, no, technically the hospital will not let you film the delivery due to, like, she said it was for like malpractice fears. I'm not really sure. But yeah, her answer was no, we can't film the delivery. However, she did say that if it's her delivering the baby, she doesn't care. She's not going to tell me not to film it. She says, I have my baby's births on film and I make them watch it for their birthday every single year. And she's like, it's a very special time. If you want to film me delivering your baby, I don't care. So just don't get the nurses in it. Don't get any of the other like staff in the video. And she's kind of like, no, you can't, like winking, like, no, you can't film it. So basically trying to hint at me like, no, they're not allowing you to film. But if you happen to sneak it, then you might be able to. So we might just end up trying to sneak it. I'm not really sure, because Roger's obviously going to be the one that's going to film it. I'm not sure if I'm going to have him try to sneak that or if I'm going to need him while delivering. So we'll see how it goes. I really want to try and film as much as I can though. Also, I almost forgot. So I mentioned that I got the Group B strep swab last week and I didn't get the results back. Well, I have them back now and I am positive again. So this, she says, is totally normal. Like, it doesn't really affect anything really. It's just a natural bacteria that grows in the woman's body. Some women have it, some women don't. You can have it in one pregnancy and not the other. I had it in both apparently. So all this really means is that it can transfer and cause infection to your baby while being delivered. So she wants to make sure that I have antibiotics in my body for at least 4 hours before delivery. So she did say, like, just make sure that you're at you don't wait too long and you're at the hospital long enough for the antibiotics to be in your body for at least 4 hours, just because that's how long it takes for them to reach baby. Okay, so I think you guys heard me rambling on enough. So let's go ahead and show you guys my belly at 37 weeks. Watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.